What if the thing you fear will happen again has already lost its power over you? What if the heaviness you felt was not another beginning, but the final echo of something ending? Chosen one, congratulations, it is over. But before you celebrate, you need to understand what ended. A chapter can close around you while remaining open inside you. You can leave the place and still expect the danger. You can meet kind people and still prepare for betrayal. You can receive peace and still search for the hidden cost. That is how old prisons rebuild themselves. They do not always return through the same person, the same room, or the same pain. They return through familiar reactions. They return through choices made by a body that still believes the emergency is active. Today, that pattern begins to lose its hold. There is a name for what you have been feeling. I call it the last echo. The last echo appears when the danger has passed, but your system is still listening for it. It makes silence feel suspicious. It makes good news feel temporary. It makes rest feel unsafe, even when nothing is asking you to fight. That voice is not always intuition. Sometimes it is memory trying to protect you. This matters because a memory can feel urgent without being true about the present. A feeling can be intense without being a prophecy. And a familiar fear can return without having the authority to lead you. Stay with me, because you are going to discover three things. First, why the final stage of a painful cycle often feels heavier than everything before it. Second, why old experiences repeat under new names and faces. Third, how to help your inner state catch up with the future your spirit already recognizes. This is not a message asking you to ignore reality. It is not asking you to pretend everything is perfect. You have already survived impossible days. What you need now is not more force. You need integration. Take one slow breath. Let your shoulders fall. You are here now. You are not back there. The room may be quiet, and your mind may still be scanning, but that does not mean danger has returned. In the comments, write these words: I release the last echo. Do not write them to convince anyone else. Write them so the part of you that survived can finally hear that it does not have to keep fighting every shadow. You are not being asked to survive another version of the same story. You are being shown how to stop carrying that story into every new room. The past may still knock. It may still send a sudden wave of doubt, but it no longer owns the door. Before this message ends, I will show you the clearest sign that the old chapter can no longer recognize you. It will not be a dramatic sign in the sky. It will be something quieter, something visible in the moment when an old trigger appears and you make a new choice. For now, remember this: the feeling of danger is not always proof of danger. The fear of repetition is not repetition itself. And the fact that your body remembers does not mean your future has agreed to repeat the past. There is another reason the old chapter still feels close. It is not hiding in your circumstances. It is hiding inside limits you learn to call your personality. And once you see those limits clearly, you will stop blaming yourself for carrying them. You may have told yourself that you should be over it by now. You may have wondered why peace arrived, but your body did not trust it. But chosen one, you did not fail to move on. You learned how to survive. Your mind became alert. Your body became fast. You noticed changes in tone, silence, and distance before anyone else did. Those skills protected you once, but now they may be reacting to a world that has changed. This is why you can wake up and check your phone before your feet touch the floor. It is why one delayed reply can change your mood. It is why a compliment can feel less believable than criticism. And it is why a real opportunity can make you freeze instead of move. You may call this weakness. You may call it overthinking. You may even call it a lack of faith. But the hidden mechanism is simpler. Your inner system often chooses what is familiar before it chooses what is good, because familiar patterns once helped you predict what came next. That does not make those patterns your identity. It means they were learned. A learned response can feel permanent after years of repetition. It can hide inside routines, relationships, and decisions. But it can also be noticed, interrupted, and replaced by a response that matches the present. Look closely at your days. Do you feel guilty when you rest? Do you prepare explanations before anyone questions you? Do you reject help because needing someone once felt dangerous? Do you delay your next step because visibility once brought criticism? These are not random habits. They show that one part of you still believes the old rules apply. The event may be over, but the expectation remains. The room has changed, but your attention still searches for the same threat. This is the moment to stop blaming yourself. Say this quietly: I am no longer blaming myself. You were not broken, you were adapting. You were doing the best you could with a system designed to keep you safe before it was designed to make you free. But adaptation has an expiration point. A shield becomes heavy after the battle. A habit becomes a cage after the danger disappears. And an old defense can block the love, opportunity, and peace you asked to receive. There is another layer to this. Some people understand their patterns clearly, yet still cannot change them consistently. They know what to do. They feel what is right. But when the moment arrives, their thoughts, emotions, and actions seem to move in different directions. Researchers have spent years studying how different regions of the brain cooperate during attention, creativity, and decision-making. One question matters here. What happens when the part of you that can imagine a new future and the part that must act today stop working together? The answer may explain why you recognize your purpose and still procrastinate. It may explain why you sense an opportunity and then talk yourself out of it. We will return to that question. First, you need to see the danger that appears at the end of a difficult season. Relief can arrive before readiness. Your circumstances can improve before your inner system believes the improvement is safe. And that gap is where old cycles quietly rebuild themselves. Notice that gap. Name it. Do not confuse it with destiny. You are not standing at the beginning of another punishment. You are standing at the place where awareness becomes choice, and choice begins to become freedom. Relief can arrive before readiness. This truth is hard to accept. Your life can begin changing while your body still expects old pain. Your circumstances can become safer while your attention keeps searching for proof that nothing has changed. That gap creates the last echo. It does not mean the cycle has returned. It means your system has not learned that the cycle is over. And because the echo feels familiar, many people mistake it for a warning about the future. The last echo appears in three forms. First, the mental echo. The same thought returns. Something will go wrong. They will leave. I should not trust what feels good. Second, the emotional echo. Fear arrives before evidence. Shame rises before judgment. The feeling is real, but its story may belong to another time. Third, the behavioral echo. You pull away before disappointment. You delay the opportunity you prayed for. You create distance from peace because chaos feels easier to understand. The event is over, but the expectation remains. The door is closed, but the body is still guarding it. This is why good news can make you nervous. It is why calm can feel empty. It is why waiting for a problem can feel safer than trusting peace. But listen carefully. The return of a feeling is not the return of the cycle. A trigger can visit without becoming a command. A memory can rise without becoming a decision. Fear can speak without receiving control. This is where the ending becomes visible. You notice the reaction before obeying it. You feel the urge to withdraw, but you pause. You hear the old prediction, but you look for present evidence. These moments matter. Awareness has entered the space where automatic behavior once ruled. The old pattern no longer moves through you unseen. And what can be seen can change. You may feel empty during this transition. Old goals may lose meaning. Familiar places may feel too small. This is not always confusion. Sometimes it is the space left when survival stops organizing your life. Do not rush to fill it. Let new choices take shape without force. Peace feels unfamiliar before it feels natural, because your system has practiced protection longer than receiving. Imagine waking without checking what might be wrong. Imagine receiving kindness without searching for the hidden cost. These are not dramatic miracles. They are signs that peace is becoming safe. Say this now: peace is safe for me. You do not need perfect belief. Let these words reach the part of you that still waits for loss. Chosen one, the final days felt heavy because the old system was losing control. Familiar patterns become louder when they are no longer obeyed. They send one more fear, one more doubt. Their volume is not proof of authority. You are not beginning another punishment. You are feeling friction between an old expectation and a new reality. The echo is loud because the room around it is becoming empty. Soon, you will see that silence was never a threat. It was space. The deepest part is what became quiet while you were growing up. Once, your mind saw possibility everywhere. A simple object could become 10 different things. Then something changed. The world rewarded correct answers and punished unusual ideas. It taught you to choose safety before curiosity. You may have mistaken a trained limit for your true capacity. That limit has a name. Understanding it will show you why your creativity, clarity, and confidence were not destroyed. They may have been waiting beneath a ceiling you never chose. Once, your mind did not ask permission to imagine. A box became a spaceship. A shadow became a creature. A simple question opened 10 different worlds. You did not need proof before curiosity moved. Then the rules arrived. Be realistic. Do not make mistakes. Stop asking so many questions. Choose the safe answer. Little by little, your mind learned that approval mattered more than discovery, and certainty mattered more than possibility. I call this the borrowed ceiling. It is a limit placed above your life by voices, environments, and experiences that did not understand your full capacity. After enough years, you stopped seeing it as something learned. You began calling it your personality. You said, "I am not creative. I am not a business person. People like me do not succeed. My family has never had that kind of life. I am not as sharp as I used to be." But those statements may describe your conditioning, not your true limit. Chosen one. You are not only leaving pain behind, you are questioning the limits that pain taught you to accept. The child within you was not foolish for seeing many possibilities. That child had not yet been trained to reject unusual connections. The goal is not to become childish again. The goal is to recover flexibility without losing wisdom. Your brain is not divided into a good side and a bad side. Both sides support many functions, and they work through constant cooperation. This matters because intuition without action becomes a dream you never test. Action without direction becomes exhaustion. Logic without imagination repeats what already exists. Imagination without structure struggles to become real. You need both. You need the part that sees the wider picture and the part that can choose the next practical step. You need insight that becomes movement. You need movement that still remembers why. Many people try to solve this gap with more pressure. They build stricter schedules. They shame themselves for procrastinating. They work longer while feeling less connected. But greater effort inside a divided state can create faster exhaustion, not a better future. You do not need to become another person. You do not need to chase a fantasy score or prove that you are a genius. You need access to more of the clarity, creativity, and confidence that fear pushed into the background. Say this quietly: what was suppressed is not destroyed. Let that truth settle. Your gifts may feel distant, but distance is not death. A silent ability can return when the conditions around it begin to change. The borrowed ceiling also explains why success can feel uncomfortable. A new opportunity may challenge an old family rule. A peaceful relationship may challenge what love looked like before. Being visible may challenge the version of you that survived by staying small. That discomfort does not always mean stop. Sometimes, it means you have reached the edge of a limit that was never truly yours. There is a point where intuition, logic, and action begin moving together again. I call it the return point. It is not a magical transformation. It is the moment your inner parts stop pulling against each other and begin serving the same future. Your next chapter does not need to resemble your last one. The person making the next decision is learning to operate from a different internal state. The return point is not the day you become fearless. It is the moment your inner parts stop fighting for control. The part that sees possibility begins cooperating with the part that must act. Feeling, thought, and movement start facing the same direction. This changes the meaning of your struggle. You did not always fail because you lacked discipline. Sometimes, you were trying to build a unified life through a divided internal state. One part recognized the opportunity, another remembered the last disappointment. One part wanted to speak, another prepared for rejection. One part imagined freedom, while another kept choosing what felt familiar. That conflict creates exhaustion. You spend energy moving forward and pulling back at the same time. You call yourself lazy, but your system is working constantly. It is protecting one future while trying to create another. Chosen one. The final barrier is not another enemy, another curse, or another test. It may be the distance between what you already know and the system you are using to live it. Remember the question from earlier. What happens when the part that sees a new future and the part that must act today stop working together? You can sense the right direction and still hesitate. You can stay busy and still move nowhere meaningful. This is why more effort has not always created more change. Effort cannot solve every form of inner conflict. Sometimes it only gives the conflict more fuel. The return point begins when you stop asking how to force yourself harder. You begin asking how the different parts of you can support the same decision. That question carries less shame. It also creates more agency. The repeating cycle is now becoming clear. Old expectations shaped your attention. Your attention shaped your choices. Your choices created familiar outcomes, and those outcomes seemed to prove the old expectation was true. That was the loop. It was powerful, but it was not destiny. Once you see the loop, you can interrupt it before the final step. You need a state that supports cooperation. You need recognition, reasoning, imagination, and action to communicate more effectively. You need a bridge between the insight you receive and the life you build. Here is the emotional truth. You were never too weak to change. You were trying to create alignment while different parts of you protected different realities. One protected the life you knew. Another reached toward the life you wanted. Neither part was evil. Both were trying to serve you, but they were following different maps. The old map says pain is predictable, so stay close to it. The new map says peace is possible, so learn how to remain present when it arrives. This is where spiritual understanding becomes practical. It is not enough to declare that a chapter is over. Your daily state must support that declaration. Your choices must become evidence that the message reached more than your thoughts. Researchers spent years asking whether internal cooperation could be supported more directly. Their work led to an approach built around how the two hemispheres communicate and how targeted sound may support a more synchronized state. In the next part, I will show you the 8-minute bridge connected to that idea. I will explain where the concept came from, what the product claims to do, how it is used, and what it does not promise. Listen with discernment. You do not need blind belief. You need clear information, honest limits, and the freedom to decide whether this tool belongs in your next chapter. The idea behind this bridge begins with research on how the brain works as an integrated system. Dr. Roger Sperry became known for split brain research, and that work was recognized with a Nobel Prize in 1981. His research did not prove that one side is logical while the other is magical. Both hemispheres support many abilities, and meaningful thinking depends on communication across the whole system. According to the product information, Dr. Daniel Barone is a neurologist based in New York City. His team developed an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence designed around what they call neural sync technology. The product describes its intended mechanism as whole brain activation. In simple terms, it is designed to support synchronization between the left and right hemispheres through sound. It is not presented as a miracle cure, and it should not be treated as one. Before I tell you its name, consider two experiences reported by users. A woman from California described feeling that life had been happening to her. After using the audio, she reported a stronger sense of agency and direction. A man from Texas, who worked with a Shopify business, described clearer thinking and useful insights while solving problems. These are personal reports. They do not guarantee that every listener will have the same result. Now the reveal. The audio is called the Genius Switch. It is a digital track designed to be heard for 8 minutes each day through headphones. The process is simple. Put on your headphones, sit somewhere safe, close your eyes, if that feels comfortable. Listen for the full 8 minutes. You do not need a mantra. You do not need affirmations. You do not need meditation experience. The goal is not to force a dramatic sensation. The goal is to give the protocol a consistent place in your day. The audio is delivered by email after purchase. There is no shipping charge, and the product information states that access is provided for life. This is not for everyone. It is for the person who knows there is more capacity inside them than their current life reveals. It is for the person who wants a simple practice, not another demanding routine. You are not starting from nothing. You may be returning to a capacity that became quieter than it should have been. This is not about installing a false personality. It is about supporting access to clarity, creativity, and coordinated action. The product information says the official version is not distributed through Amazon, YouTube, or Spotify. A similarly named track on those platforms should not automatically be assumed to be the same product. The offer compares its price with other brain training options. It mentions neurofeedback sessions at around $300 per hour and home equipment at around $7,000. The original value was described by colleagues as around $500. The listed price was $49. According to the product file, the official page offers it for $39. $39 is real money. Do not spend it from panic, guilt, or pressure. The reason to consider it is the combination of an 8-minute protocol, digital delivery, and lifetime access. The product information also states that it includes a 100% money-back guarantee. Review the official terms before purchasing, because the page should remain the final source for refund details. 4 digital bonuses are listed. They are a guided visualization, a smart grocery shopping guide, a classic manifestation book, and a 5 habits infographic. The current price may change. Digital products do not run out like physical inventory, so there is no honest reason to create false scarcity. Check the official page for the active price, guarantee, and bonus details. Be careful with copies and similarly named tracks. The product file states that the official version is available only through its official website. Use the official link below this video or in the pinned comment. Open the page and read the explanation for yourself. Look at the mechanism, read the terms, decide from clarity, not excitement. You may be thinking that you have tried many audios before. That is fair. This one is positioned around hemisphere synchronization, not as a generic brainwave track. You may wonder whether this sounds too good to be true. Keep the distinction clear. Sperry's Nobel recognized foundational brain research. It did not prove that this product will work for every person. You may believe that you have no time. 8 minutes can fit beside your morning coffee, a quiet break, or the end of your day. Do not listen while driving or doing anything that requires full attention. If you recognize that you are not trying to become someone else, but to return to a clearer version of yourself, this may be the bridge you have been looking for. The official page is available below. Examine it with discernment. The next step is not blind belief. It is an informed choice that respects both your hope and your intelligence. Do not turn this tool into another test you must pass. The genius switch is not a measure of your worth. It is not proof that you are chosen, healed, or ready. It is simply a tool designed to support a more coordinated inner state. It does not replace personal responsibility. It does not replace medical care or mental health support. It does not promise genius after one listen. And it cannot make every decision for you, because your life still requires attention, honesty, and action. The reason I shared it is simple. It fits the lesson we have been building. You do not need more shame. You need a practice that may support the connection between what you recognize, what you choose, and what you do. If you decide to use it, choose one consistent time. Morning can work. A quiet afternoon break can work. The end of the day can work. Put on your headphones, sit somewhere safe, and listen for the full 8 minutes. Do not chase a special feeling. Do not test yourself during every second. Let the practice be simple. When it ends, ask one question. What would the version of me who no longer expects the old cycle do next? Then choose one small action. Send the message, finish the page, take the walk. Decline the invitation that drains you. Accept the help you would normally refuse. The action does not need to be dramatic, but it should agree with the future you say you want. If you are skeptical, keep your skepticism. You do not need blind belief before reading the official explanation. Examine the mechanism, the terms, and the guarantee. Make a decision from evidence instead of pressure. If you have tried other audios, that experience matters. One disappointing method does not prove that every method is identical. But it also does not mean you should ignore your judgment. Compare carefully and allow your own experience to inform you. If $39 feels significant, honor that. Do not buy from fear. The product information states that lifetime access and a money-back guarantee are included, but you should confirm the current terms on the official page. If part of you says that nothing works for your case, notice the old expectation inside that sentence. No tool is right for everyone. The guarantee exists, so you can evaluate the experience without pretending certainty. And if you do not purchase, the lesson remains. Name the last echo when it appears. Pause before reacting. Look for present evidence. Ask whether the danger is real now, or whether your body is remembering an older room. Say this quietly. I choose evidence over old expectation. Let that sentence become a practice. You are not denying the past. You are refusing to let the past make every future decision. The final proof that the chapter is over will not be a dramatic sign in the sky. It will appear in one quiet moment when an old trigger arrives and you answer it differently. The quiet proof may look ordinary. That is why many people miss it. You receive a delayed reply, and you do not invent a rejection. You face a new opportunity, and you do not disappear before anyone can see you. You feel the urge to defend yourself, but you wait. You notice your chest tighten, and you breathe before speaking. The old reaction appears, yet it no longer becomes the final decision. This is how freedom enters daily life. It does not always announce itself with a miracle. Sometimes it appears as a pause. Sometimes it appears as a boundary. Sometimes it appears as the courage to let a good day remain good. You may begin noticing opportunities that fear once hid from you. You may make financial choices with less panic. You may ask clearer questions before committing your time, money, or energy. Your relationships can change too. You may stop testing people who have shown consistency. You may stop calling chaos chemistry. You may stop handing old suspicion to someone who did not create it. This shift can reach your family. A calmer response changes the room. A clear boundary teaches others what peace looks like. When you stop passing fear forward, the next generation receives a different pattern. Chosen one does not mean a person who never feels afraid. It means a person who no longer gives fear the steering wheel. The last echo may still speak, but it does not get to choose the destination. The 8-minute protocol is linked below for anyone who wants to examine it. Read the official information, review the current price and terms, and decide without pressure. The tool is optional. Your responsibility to live differently is not. Now think of one person who always says they are fine, but never truly relaxes. Think of someone who left a painful relationship, yet still expects love to hurt. Think of the intelligent person who believes their best years are gone. Share this message with that one person. Do not send it to everyone. Send it to the person whose nervous system may need permission to stop preparing for yesterday. Before we close, 3 doors must shut. The door of self-blame, the door of repetition, the door that taught you to fear peace. Behind those doors is not emptiness, it is space. Space to think clearly, space to receive kindness, space to build without secretly expecting everything to collapse. The final declaration is not about pretending the past never happened. It is about ending its authority. And, in the next moment, you will give that decision a voice. Place one hand over your chest. Take a slow breath. Let your jaw soften. Let your shoulders fall. Feel the surface beneath you, and remember that you are here now. You are not inside the old room. You are not trapped in the old conversation. You are not waiting for the same person to choose differently. This moment is present, and the present is asking you to return. Say these words quietly. I no longer treat memory as prophecy. I no longer call constant vigilance intuition. I thank the version of me who survived, and I release that version from the old assignment. I do not carry the old chapter into the new room. I do not recreate pain so I can feel prepared. I allow peace to become familiar. You are not betraying your past by healing. You are honoring everything you survived by refusing to make suffering your permanent identity. The person who protected you deserves rest. You may still feel a trigger. You may still remember. You may still have difficult days. The ending is not proven by the absence of emotion. It is proven by the presence of choice. The old trigger appears, but the old decision does not follow. There is a pause. There is awareness. There is another path. That is the clearest sign that the chapter can no longer recognize you. Chosen one, congratulations. It is over, not because the past has been erased, but because it no longer has permission to create your future. Write this in the comments. It ends with me, and peace begins here. Let those words become a boundary between what happened and what happens next. Subscribe if you want more messages that connect spiritual clarity with practical ways to live what you already understand. This path is not about escaping reality. It is about meeting reality with a clearer mind and a steadier heart. For those who feel ready to examine the 8-minute Genius Switch protocol, the official information is linked below. Read it carefully. Check the current offer and terms. Decide with discernment. May your mind become clear. May your body learn that safety can last. May your intuition and action find each other again. May the peace you build become a gift that reaches your family. May you recognize opportunity without fear hiding it. May you receive kindness without searching for a hidden cost. May you enter the next chapter without carrying the keys to a prison that no longer exists. The echo may visit, but it no longer lives here. You are not going back. You are not beginning the same story again. Go in peace.